Alright, so what we do is you go look for chart, and then this is our component we're going to use, a TDB chart. We're going to use a TDB chart. So you just put a component in. So you can now go put it on another sheet or whatever if you want to, on another tab or wherever it needs to go, probably without this stuff. Once it's there, you can just double click on it if you want to. Then by series you'll go add, and now you choose the chart you want. Now the 3D ones doesn't always work out nicely, so I advise go with a linear one, but if you want 3D you can go 3D and see how it works out. Our easiest one is the line one.
3D one there.
Say again?
Use a 3D one.
No, I'm gonna use a straight line one. And then we say okay, then it's gonna give this to you. Now you can just double click on series 1, then it gives you the options. Now on this stage you want to go to data source. Let me just see if it's here also. Let's quickly close this. I'm not sure if it's here as well. No, it's not. See, you want to go. Wonder if it's by. Wonder if series is there. Let me just see. I never tried to do it from this side. Series. No, it looks pathetic. All right. No. Alright, so we double click on series 1, then you'll go to data source. So data source is where we get the information from. I also at this stage it's a random number, so that's why this graph is actually random numbers that they used to generate. Let me just, where's this thing? Alright, at data source you'll go to the drop down box, and here you'll choose data set, so that you can now choose if you want to use a query or one of your tables. Now in my case I'm just going to use the table for the the whole numbers and the par score. Now you can use the ADO query as well, it doesn't matter whether there's a SQL in. There must just already be an SQL in. And then when you choose that, so you'll choose by your dataset, you'll choose, then you'll see ADO query will just be at the bottom, but then you choose the one you want to. The labels you want on, we can see now that works, and then you choose your x-axis, y-axis. So on my x-axis I want my whole numbers, and on my y-axis I want my par score. And then when you go apply, then you'll see that's exactly what you're gonna get. So on my x-axis I've got all my holes, and on my y-axis is the par score for each of these ones. So the first one is 4, hole 2 is 6, and then there's the whole thing. And then you do have a legend as well, so you can now with this you can customize it a bit with, like on your legend you can remove the legend if you don't want it. So with the rest of these settings you can play around a lot with it to just have it there. So, and that is charts, and then you'll have a chart with something on. Now as you wait, let's just see, change hole, what did you do with that? Let's quickly play this. Okay, so you'll have your graph there. If we want to change which hole, let's change hole number 1, and the new par score will also be 6, and then you'll see it changed automatically. So your graph will update as your database changes. And that's the same with if you use the query or whatever, it will change according to whatever values is inserted into it. And that is graphs.